Hello everyone, I'm Hillary with Dominion Tea, and this week we're going to make ourselves another piece of candy to honor Halloween. This one's popular. It's the good old Almond Joy. So how do you get to an existing flavor? You gotta isolate what's in there to begin with, right? So this one's easy. Chocolate, almond, and coconut. So we just have to get our ratios right. But before we talk about ratios and enjoy our cup of tea, let's talk about ingredients that are a little tricky to play with. Specifically, almonds, or nuts in general that are in tea. You want to be careful with them because they don't have the same shelf life as the tea leaves. What does that mean? So a good bag of black tea can last you as long as 5 years. However, the slivered almonds that might be in them, they're not going to make it that long. In fact, you might find your tea starting to taste off as early as 12 months. Just because the almond oil is going to age faster than the tea does and basically become kind of an off flavor. And so if you do have a tea that has nuts in it, drink it pretty quickly and routinely. Don't go saving it for a long period of time. It just doesn't have the shelf life. So for us to get to an Almond Joy in a teacup, what do we need? Well, we need our chocolate almond fantasy and our coconut oolong. 2 teas again with different densities. So we want to be a little careful on how we measure out. Remember, we've got a 12-ounce mug here. We also want to be careful of, when we do this, recognizing kind of leaf size. So it's a little tricky because both of these teas I'm going to use a teaspoon on. With the chocolate almond, however, I'm going to use a round teaspoon to get the proper amount. So that 2 grams we're after, because we need 4 grams of tea for this teacup. So I'm going to round that teaspoon for this one. And then I'm going to use another teaspoon for the coconut oolong. You're going to notice, why did I use 2 different teaspoons? I could have used the same one. Almonds they're an allergen. They're a known allergen. In fact, so is coconut. They're tree nuts. And so you don't want to accidentally transfer that allergen or cross-contaminate. So we use different scoops for different teas, especially if you have somebody in the house with nut allergies. So our second teaspoon needs to be flat. We're gonna put that in, and we've got our tea. So since we have our tea in our strainer here, and we've got 2 types, right? I've got a black tea and an oolong. What do I brew it at? You're going to drop the water temperature a little bit on this one. The black tea that's on the back side of the chocolate almond fantasy is a Chinese Keemoon, and it brews beautifully at 200 degrees and will still hold its mouthfeel. And so it is no problem to kind of come down to the temperature that's going to kind of favor the oolong. So you want it between 195 and 200 degrees. If you don't have a kettle that goes to an exact temperature, not a problem. Take your kettle to a boil, pour your water straight into your mug, wait a minute or 2, and then put in the tea leaves. You're going to want to steep for 4 minutes. And then you get your own cup of an Almond Joy. So leave us any questions, leave us your favorite blends, and we'll see you next week for our very last brew. We hope you enjoyed learning more about tea with us. Hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified when we add more videos to our channel. And check out the highlighted videos to learn even more about tea. And last but not least, you can check out all of the teas we talk about in our videos at dominiontea.com.